What is good, Perform24 family? I hope you guys are crushing it. Hope you guys are killing it. Today we're going to be talking about the American Barbell Elite Power Bar. I've got kind of an awesome story about this one in particular, but then we're going to be kind of diving into this and comparing it to some of the other rogue bars that I have. Reviews tend to do well on my channel, and I think that there's a couple reasons for that, but the main reason is that I am a user, okay? So I'm a personal user of this strength equipment. I've personally been using this barbell now for a couple weeks, actually a couple months. But then I'm also a coach, okay? So I usually intro my YouTube video by saying, you know, my name's Levi if we haven't met yet. And I run a gym in South Tampa called Perform24, and then I make YouTube videos in my garage with my internet friends, okay? So I've got my own personal experience with the bar, but then I also have the feedback from all of my clients, which, you know, some of them are professional athletes, and then some of them are just like regular people, right? And so I kind of take their opinion into account as well when I make these videos. We're gonna be talking about a few things about this bar in particular, and let's just get into this. Okay, so like I mentioned, this bar kind of has a funny story. Over the last, I don't know, year and a half or so, I've kind of been scavenging the Facebook marketplace for equipment, especially as I've kind of built out my garage. A lot of that stuff has come from the used marketplace. And I've kind of built a relationship with some people in the area. One of those guys hit me up about this bar. He buys and sells stuff all over the state of Florida. He came across this bar and he hit me up, and he offered this bar to me for $225, which, if you know anything about this barbell, that's over a 50% discount. Now, this bar is damaged, okay? So the knurling, way outside of like of at least these J cups, is damaged on both sides. Okay, I'll show some close-ups of this so you can see. So the knurl on this bar is damaged, okay? And I'm assuming that it was just stored improperly, probably on a horizontal gun rack that had like metal exposure, that was just getting shredded every time it was placed on and taken off that barbell storage rack. So there's damage on the knurl, which I think is why he sold it to me super cheap. But I kind of thought about it, you know, I needed a power bar. This is the only power bar that I have, surprisingly enough. And I knew that I needed a power bar. And even though it was heavily discounted, it still kind of hurt me to buy a damaged product. If I'm going to buy something nice, I want it to be nice, right? And this is going to the gym. If you've seen some of my other videos, I do have another damaged bar, but that's for here in the garage, right? And it's Tampa, Florida. The garage doors are open most days. Smoked with humidity in here. These are really harsh conditions for a barbell. So I have like a damaged Matt Chan bar that I got for even cheaper than this one, that was perfect for the garage, okay? But I knew this was going to the gym. This is a bar that I wanted clients to have their hands on, and I don't really like having a damaged bar for them to be using. But for this circumstance, I decided to pull the trigger on it anyways. And I kind of was thinking about like the Rogue Boneyard bar. So if I was buying a Rogue Ohio Power Bar, and I knew the knurl was damaged and they were offering it for $225, and I knew that it wasn't really going to affect the performance of the bar, I would probably buy it. So anyways, that's kind of the story behind this. It's got some damage on the knurl, but it was very cost effective, and it allowed me to get an American barbell in the gym, which this is the first American barbell that I've owned, and I tell you what, I'm extremely impressed by them. So now let's kind of talk about some of the things that I absolutely love about this bar. Okay, so if you've watched any other videos or if you've looked up American Barbell before, you know that their attention to detail is exquisite, okay? So these guys kind of make like some of the best barbells really that you can buy. The sleeves on this thing are insanely well made. The recessed weldings are so clean. Even my clients that don't really care about barbells, they look at this and they're like, oh wow, you can tell that that's a high craftsmanship item, which I really appreciate. Also, just the way that these sleeves are made, there's like no slack in here, okay? So this sleeve is crazy firm and attached to the bar. which actually makes this incredibly quiet. So I brought this home specifically for my wife to use here in our garage. She trains out of here full time, and she trains at 4:30 in the morning. So she trains even before I'm up, okay? So she gets up really early. We've got 2 little kids. One of our sons, our son sleeps directly above the garage, okay? And so like noise is a little bit of a concern for us. And I wanted her to see if she felt a difference using this bar just from a noise standpoint, okay? I wanted her deadlifting with this. I wanted her dropping this barbell on the floor and seeing if she could tell a difference, and she absolutely could. So we're gonna do a drop test here in a minute just so you can see just how quiet this bar is just based off of the craftsmanship and the quality of the materials. So Rogue has been my traditional preferred barbell, and I've got a handful of them. I've got just some, basic Ohio bars, and I've got some other fancier Rogue bars. And honestly, this one is better made than all of them, okay? And just like, hopefully this picks up on camera, but this thing is just, the craftsmanship is insane. So that's probably the thing I like most about it. The second thing that I like about this bar is the knurl, okay? And I've kind of joked with a couple other people that describing the knurl on the barbell is like trying to describe wine. So again, my wife is in the wine industry, and she and I are always like tasting interesting wines, but to verbalize a taste or to verbalize the feel of a knurl is like an art form and like a language all of its own, okay? The thing that I like about this bar is that it is super, super sticky. So when you grab this thing, it just like sticks to your hands, but it's not a very deep knurl cut. So the way that I've been describing this to people is it's almost like the frequency of the bumps is higher. So there's more cuts, per square inch than an average Rogue bar, and that allows for just like a ton of surface area and a surface contact area without having super sharp, jagged cuts. So I have a Rogue Ohio deadlift bar, and those cuts, like I feel, or those knurls, I feel like are just like a half-inch thick. And when you grab that thing, like when you let go of that deadlift bar, like there are marks from the knurl, still on your skin. And I'm kind of a secret meathead, and I kind of like that aggressive feel, but what I've found is that this is a much more popular choice for my clients, okay? They love the way that this feels. I love the way that this feels. So I do work with a lot of professional baseball players. We do a lot of barbell work with them, not only like on their back, but we do like a lot of like RDLs and rows and different barbell movements, and their hands are very important to them, right? So as a thrower, they need to be able to feel the ball, but even as a hitter, they need to be able to squeeze the bat. And sometimes those aggressive knurled barbells will tear up their calluses, or they'll change the way that their calluses are on their hands, which then changes the way that they grip the bat. And so honestly, from my standpoint, really aggressive barbells are kind of a disadvantage and a con, just for me and for the people that I work with, okay? The average Joe does not really like to get their hands cut up every single time they grab the bar, and the athletes really don't like it because it affects the way that they do their job on the field, okay? So anyways, I think this barbell, this knurl, is perfect for what I need. It is sticky, super, super sticky, but it's not aggressive, and it's not going to damage your hands in any way whatsoever. So the knurl on this has certainly become a crowd favorite. And then finally, American Barbell is another American-made fitness equipment company. So always love to support that. There's a fond, special place in my heart for American manufacturing. That kind of runs in my family, and so I appreciate that. So anytime I can kind of put back into the American manufacturing, even if it's secondhand, at least I can promote the brand on Instagram and kind of give them some love where it's due, because I do think that this is a slept-on barbell. But anytime I can kind of prop up American manufacturing, I always love to do that. Now let's do the drop test. I'm going to do a drop test. I'm going to compare it probably to the Rogue Ohio bar. I've got a stainless Rogue Ohio bar right here that we'll do a drop test on. We'll do an empty barbell drop, and then we'll load it up with some weights and do some drop tests, just comparing the sound, because it does make a big difference. Okay, I actually pulled a little bit of an audible. We're going to do the drop test compared to the Matt Chan bar. I'm doing the Matt Chan bar because one, that's a little bit higher quality than just the Rogue Ohio bar. So kind of trying like a premium Rogue barbell. And then also they both have stainless sleeves. So my stainless Ohio bar has chrome sleeves. So we're also testing the same material on the drop test. So here in the front, this is, I guess that's left, I hope, on screen. Now I'm all confused. But this one, this is our Chan bar. And then on the back side, that's our American Barbell Elite Power Bar. Let's do this drop test. Hopefully this picks up on camera and you can tell the difference. Chan bar first, then the Elite bar. So I hope you can tell, but that's a huge difference in the sound. Just the material that they use to attach the sleeves to the bar is, they're better, I think, and they're tighter, guys. So there's not as much wiggle room in those sleeves, and there's not as much like metal on metal banging. Okay, so now let's load a little bit of weight on here. I'm gonna add 25s on here, just so you can hear the same set of bumper plates, so no difference there. So same material shaft, same material sleeves, same exact bumper plates. Let's drop these. All right, again, Chan bar, Elite Power Bar. Wow. Okay, I really hope that that does come up on camera. I hope that that microphone picks that up, because that is a huge, huge difference. The plates are definitely bouncy, which help with the sound dampening, but you can tell a huge difference between these bars. This Elite Power Bar is crazy quiet. And my wife, she noticed an immediate difference, and she's not like a barbell nerd like I am either. So, you know, if you have kids at home, if you're training at home and you have kids at home, or, you know, for whatever reason, if like sound is a big deal, I don't think you're going to be disappointed with the Elite Power Bar from American Barbell. All right, that's going to wrap up today's video. Hopefully you did learn something about the American Barbell Elite Barbell. I'm a gigantic fan of it. I think this has kind of changed the way that I look at American Barbell in general, to be honest with you. I think that this barbell is excellent. It's got some awesome features, and it's just so well made that it's really, really hard to ignore that when you're using that. But anyways, if you guys have any questions, please leave them below. The channel has been doing very well lately, so I appreciate all you guys that have watched. A like goes a long ways, a subscribe goes a long ways. I always appreciate that. As always, train hard, live full. Catch you in the next video.